I prayed that this video would find you at the right time during your healing journey. And I really just want to share some of the things that I wish I would have known before I started on mine. And it gets really hard when you're the one out of everybody that is like, no, I'm paying attention to my mental health. I'm healing from my traumas. I am addressing my traumas. I'm not running from them. I'm not acting like they don't exist. I am working to better myself. Oftentimes, we're the only ones out of our friend group. Like the rest of my friends, I guess some of my friends have been to therapy, but the rest of my friends weren't worried about going to therapy. They weren't talking about like how their childhood was affecting them really, and so it can feel very isolating when you are the one doing the work. So one thing I want you to know is that you felt this pull in this direction for a reason. There will be a lot of times where other people around you are saying something completely different than what you feel inside. And working on trusting yourself is a big part of this process. When other people are giving you advice, sometimes it may be good, but I want you to really look at who is it that's giving it to you. Are they someone who is aligned with where you're trying to go in life, or are they in a different space? Is that what you want your life to look like? Really getting into what are your desires? What does this healing journey mean to you? Why are you doing this? And staying focused on that as much as you can. There's going to be times that other people will say things that maybe sound more logical and make you like, oh, maybe I am doing this wrong. Maybe I am crazy. Maybe it is me. But I promise it's not. Follow your heart, follow your intuition, follow your instincts. It will get lonely sometimes, but that isolation is necessary. It is in that quietness when we're shut out from the rest of the world that we are hearing the messages that God, Spirit, the universe, yourself, your soul, your spirit wants you to hear. Sometimes the people that we want to be around, that we're like, why aren't they calling me? Why aren't they texting me? Why aren't they showing up for me? Sometimes it is because we need to see things about that specific person, but a lot of times that's not the right person to have in your ear right now. God is trying to give you a specific message that needs to be uninfiltrated. Yeah, sure. God needs to give you a message that cannot be influenced or disrupted by anyone else. So I know it can feel lonely. I know it can feel like no one cares. I know you can feel like you're in this by yourself, but I promise you're not. Okay? So keep your head up. Remember why you started this. What do you want your life to look like? Why is this so important to you? And everybody can't go with you. It kind of sucks. It's like you have these people that you meet and you have such a strong connection with, and you're like, oh my gosh, we're going to be bonded for life. Whether that's BFFs, sisters, cousins, it doesn't matter. Be willing to let things go is where you're really going to find your peace. I promise. If there is something that is pushing a person in a different direction than you, let it happen. Okay? I know that it's hard. Cry your tears. Okay? Grieve without shame of yourself, without judgment. Journal about it. If you need help with journaling, I do have a journal course up that you can look at, and it's free, and it'll help you take your journaling to a deeper level and give more impact from that. Okay, so really take the time to feel what you feel. It's okay, even if that person, that they're not the best for you. But still, it's hard to let go because we hold on to the memories. We hold on to what good parts of a person that we saw. We hold on to when they did make us feel good and really happy and things like that. But we can't be delusional, lost in the other feelings. Okay, we have to pay attention to what's actually going on. What are you feeling now? Not just how did they make you feel when you first met. How are you feeling now? What is going on? Okay, read books to get information that is outside of what your community can give you. Get in podcasts, YouTube videos, whatever you can to really separate yourself and get some different messages. Because what happens a lot of times is we separate ourselves, but the things that we've been taught growing up or at whatever time, they stay in our heads. But you need to replace those thoughts, those beliefs with something else that is more aligned with where you're going and not just where you've been. Okay, and not just where the people from your life in your past have been. They might have been a great influence growing up. They were what you needed at the time, and now it's time for you to elevate. So getting into resources that can help change the way that you're thinking. Sometimes it can be really hard, like trying to talk to people around you about what's going on, what lessons you're learning, and they're just kind of like, yeah, okay. All right. And it's like, well, damn. So, like, I definitely understand that, and it can make you be like, maybe I'm just a little gray, but you're not. You just need to get in an environment where there are other lessons being learned, okay? And where you have other people who are thinking along the same lines, because not everybody will. Everyone has their own choices about how to live their life, how to go about each day, what life is supposed to be, what's supposed to be important. We all have different answers for that, right? And that's okay. That's what we're supposed to do. We are all unique. We are all human. We are all the same at our core, which is really funny because I just did a meditation this morning about that, and I wasn't even trying to like recall that, but it came back up. So obviously that's what I needed to hear this morning so that I could also pass this on to you, to bring that to the forefront of my mind is we are all the same yet equally unique, and you have to focus on what you feel is right for you, not just what others expect you to do, not what they think is right for your life because of what they think is right for theirs. It is all you, which sometimes can be a really scary thing and also a really great thing as well. Because it shows that you have power to shape your life in the way that you want to. You don't have to live like anybody else. We all live differently, right? Some of us wouldn't dare put no ketchup in the refrigerator, and some people just crazy enough to do it. But seriously, like, think about all of the small things that you do differently than even your closest friends, your siblings, your parents. And it's in those things that you really find yourself and who you are at your core. So as much as you can get into that, journaling, what do I think about this? How do I feel about this? I do have a digital journal available called Finding Your Magic. And that is a lot of self-assessment questions just for you to get to know yourself. Most of them are kind of, some are kind of easy questions like what's your favorite color? What's your favorite food? And some are more questions that you probably haven't thought about yourself. How do you like to respond when you're angry? How do you like to communicate your feelings? And what were you told to think about yourself growing up so that you can begin to really shape this journey and who you're becoming as who you truly want to be, who you truly feel that you are inside without the extra influence of other people and their expectations of you. Okay? Because us living according to somebody else's expectations fail every time, okay? Every single time that is going to fail, because who are they? Why do they have so much say over your life? They shouldn't, right? This is your life to live. You've been led to this place where you are for a reason. Trust it, okay? There's going to be some really hard days where you want to give up, where you feel like it's all for nothing. You're like, is this shit even working? But I promise that it is, and you're going to start to recognize the small ways that you are getting better and more powerful and more in tune with your intuition and healing, and things are starting not to get to you the same way that they used to. You're able to respond to people differently. You are going to be able to wake up and see those differences. I promise. I've been there where I'm like, what am I even doing this for? Like, why am I doing this? I'm spending so much time praying and meditating and trying to do all that I need to do, and it feels like it's not working. But I promise that it is. Because then I have somebody call me and they're like, dang girl, I can see how much better you sound. You look happy. And I'm like, maybe it's working. My favorite way to see that I am healing is when I have interactions with someone and I know I would have reacted completely differently last time. And maybe that's this time I didn't crash out. Sometimes it's that this time I did crash out and it was validated. And I'm not mad that I did it. Okay? So everyone's healing journey looks different. There will be times where you're like, dang it, I should have reacted like that, or I went backwards. Going backwards is part of the process, I promise. It's okay. You're going to get better. You don't have to have it all figured out today. It gets better over time, okay? We have slip-ups. And when we do have slip-ups, the most important thing is that we give ourselves grace. Remind ourselves, hey, I'm still learning. I'm still growing. You will have other people who are looking at you like, I thought she was healing. I thought he was healing. I thought he was doing better. I thought he was. So why you react like this or whatever? Don't worry about them. Okay? Because they don't know. If they were more worried about their own healing journey and actually doing that in the way that you are, they wouldn't even think to respond to you like that, because they would know and understand. So those people, I want you to just la 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 la, like, okay, ignore them. They are only doing that because they're scared to go on their own healing journey, and you're not. And whatever, right? Like, that's their choice. You made yours, they make theirs, and that is all. So I want you to know from the bottom of my heart, I may not even know you, but I am proud of you. I am here for you. I am so proud that you have started this journey, because again, it is not easy at all. Healing is actually hell. Like, and we're gonna be real about it. Healing is hell. However, we know what we're crossing those bridges for. We know what we're going through the fire for. And you get up every day and you fight as hard as you can to get yourself to a better place than you were yesterday, a better place than you were an hour ago, 5 minutes ago. Who cares that you didn't meditate 7 days this week? The more that you do it and you start to see the benefits, the more that you are going to add that into your routine, okay? It's okay to start small. So, I'm so proud of you. You're amazing. And I promise it is all working out. What you feel, what is keeping you up at night, what you feel in your heart, in your spirit, it's all real. And it is for a reason. You will not be neglected. You will not be abandoned. You are right where you are supposed to be. Trusting that you're always aligned, trusting that everything is always working out for you, and that you don't have to worry about anything. So keep doing the things that you feel are right for yourself. You will grow and learn, even in the healing process. Sometimes things that we think, oh, that's better than where I was. I'm trying to think of a good example, but like handling a situation, and then you'll handle it one way, like with your healed self, because also a big part of healing is allowing yourself to experience anger. And anger, sometimes it comes out big and roaring, okay? And we feel very justified in that. And sometimes you are, okay? And then you'll get to another part of your healing journey. You're like, what the hell was I doing? What was I thinking? Like, oh my gosh. But you have to, like, the steps are different. Your experience in each part of your elevation is going to be different. Your only job is to keep going. Some days you won't have as much in you, and that is okay. Some days you will mess up. Some days you will regret your actions, and it's okay. When you do, man, I didn't handle that the way that I wish that I would have. How would I like to handle that next time? And that's it. One other thing, stop apologizing. Stop apologizing for where you are in your journey. You don't owe that explanation to anyone. Apologize and take accountability for where you are wrong. But all this, oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm healing. No, we're not doing that. Sorry. No. We're not doing it. If there is an action, you know what? I didn't handle that in the way that I really would have liked to. I apologize for hurting you. I apologize for how I impacted you in that situation. And that is it. But we don't need to blubber over and like brace for yourself first. Okay. And maybe we need to talk about that specifically, because unfortunately it's really hard to learn to give yourself grace and to be okay with your mistakes. And it's like, why? It's something that all of us deal with. Every single one of us makes a mistake every single day. All of us. But yet we find it so hard to get over them, and we keep ourselves locked in this box of shame. For what? Why are we doing it? That don't even make no sense. If this message found you at the right time, at the right place in your journey, like, subscribe, comment, stay in tune with what I have coming next. Be sure to check the description for any links, updates, things like that, for working with me, for upcoming products, things like that. But most importantly, I'm glad that you have chosen this path, because it's not easy. I promise. Like, we get to the point where we are more zen and calm and not as heavily impacted by the actions of others. And people will look at that as a weakness, but they have no idea how hard we fought to get to that point. And that we don't always have to be there, okay? We do not always have to be zen and quiet and positive and speaking to you like a guru, okay? Because sometimes you're going to get cussed the fuck out from my healed self. Do you hear me? Okay? So, don't let anybody tell you what this journey is supposed to look like for you. Don't let anybody try to course correct you on something that is not confirmation from who you seek your information from, who your source is, who your messenger is. God, spirit, angels, yourself, goddess, or whichever one you want to pick. It doesn't matter. if what they're saying doesn't feel like a confirmation of what God has already told you, or whatever other messages that you feel for you, block it out. Block it out. Okay? It's irrelevant. They need to focus on their own journey, not yours. Okay? All right. So I really, again, pray that this video meets you where you are and helps you to get to where you need to be. I'm so glad that you sat here and watched with me. Thank you. You can, of course, connect with me on my social media. I would love to have you and talk to you and all of the things. Make sure you like, subscribe, all those things on this channel so that you can get even more of these messages and just guidance as you are working to become your absolute best self. Okay? All right. Well, I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.